Hello YouTube and welcome to the comic book channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a recent book that came out this past Wednesday, which was July 25th, 2018. It's a book written by Cullen Bunn. I'm not even going to try the artist and colorist names because I'm bad at that. We'll say Jonas and Alex. It's a Boom Studios book, and like I said, this is number 1. This is Bone Parish. Just to kind of give you a brief synopsis of what the book is about before I kind of dive into it, it's a book where there's a new street drug called ash. And ash is essentially the cremated remains, or maybe just the bone cremated remains, I can't remember if it's everything or just the bones, of dead people, which are snorted, and then your high as you relive moments from their lives, or in some cases I believe the last moments of their lives and things like that. That's kind of what the solicit said about the book. Whenever you really break it open and crack into the book, kind of what you see happen is what happens on the first few pages, the first few panels and stuff like that. We have a guy who's reliving like a rock star's concert in front of, thousands of fans and having a great time. He's out there reciting the lyrics and stuff, but really he's just a guy in the middle of the street tripping in front of other people. Quickly we see that there's a group of people who walk up to another man who ask for this drug, and he supplies them with what they can, and then he gets on the phone with his dealer and tells them, we got to charge more, we got to get more, the supply's growing, the demand's growing, we need more supply or to charge more or whatever. And then we kind of dive into what's really going on in the story. So what's going on in the story is it's basically like a family operation. There's a man who is getting the drugs out to the streets, who's the guy who the other guy called. Sorry, it'd be better if I had their names, but I can't remember any of these characters' names at all. Then we have a crew who is kind of out grave robbing. They're looking for, important people who led extravagant lives and stuff like that, because they're obviously the more desired experiences that people are going to want, so that's what they're looking for. From there we see that there's a mother and a father kind of type of deal, who are kind of the brains or business behind the operation, and word is being passed along to them that we need more demand and whatnot. From there, there's a pretty good twist, and we kind of end the book on that note. I'm leaving out some stuff obviously on purpose, because this really is a well-written story. It's a great book. It's something I would highly recommend if you haven't read it. It's definitely, I want to say it's written really well, but there are some critiques I'm going to give it. The artwork's great, and the concept is outstanding. I really enjoy this concept a lot, and I do believe it's something everybody should pick up and read if you can. From there, I'll just go ahead and kind of critique it now that, I gave a synopsis and I kind of gave like a quick overview of the book. Like I said, the writing by Cullen Bunn is good, and the concept is great. I'm just not too sure that I like where he went with it. Where he could have gone and where he did go, I guess, is where I'm a little confused. Not confused, maybe disappointed is the right word. And not disappointed in the book, because I'm still going to give it a pretty high score. I really liked it and enjoyed it a lot, and I'm really excited to read the next issue. It's just that, we kind of zeroed in on like a drug family whenever I feel like this was a bigger concept. Something that could have been a little more interesting, which I'm sure, it's supposed to be 12 issues right now, I believe. So it still has quite a ways to go, and it can still dive into those pockets and have some interesting turns and have some really cool stuff happen. I'm just a little annoyed that we got into some of the cliches, some of the stereotypes, some of the take this drug, this is the craziest trip you'll ever be on types of things. I really wish it could have been a little bit more intelligent than that, I guess. I wish that the creative team could have used the opportunity to maybe zero in on somebody's experience a little more before we started all the world building in the first issue. Maybe kind of hook us in with what somebody has going on, in their individualized experience on Ash, and then kind of take like a B story, a side story into the family, or maybe just a member or two of the family, and then slowly build that. I'm sure there's a reason. Cullen Bunn's a great writer, and I'm sure there's a reason that he really focused in on this family and the mother particularly. I just personally would have liked it a little bit more if we experienced some of this world in the first issue versus just the family and a little hint at the world of the drug. So that's kind of my critique on it. Again, from there, it's really well done. It's really interesting, and I'm really excited to read the next issue. So it's not a bad critique, but more or less just a critique. The artwork is outstanding. It looks great. It pairs very well with the writing. The colors are dark and moody, but vibrant enough so you're not lost in it, so you're not drowned out by the darkness. It works really well together. The creative team that was put together on this book did a great job. It tells a very nice story. So for a star rating, I'm going to go 7.5 out of 10. And like I said, if they just would have dived into this world a little bit more in this first issue, it probably would have been like a 9. But I will have to go 7.5 out of 10. Just for the fact that we had those little cliches about the drug family and stuff like that. It's always hard for me whenever somebody goes down a road that seems very, very predictable or very overdone or very cliche, whenever I see so many side roads that could have been explored instead. Now, there's probably a reason that those main roads are usually the ones explored, probably because they're the ones that get the best response, or they're the ones that people feel most comfortable with, so they're the stories that people are more interested in. I don't know. I just know I like it whenever I can kind of travel down those back roads and see something different than what I expect. Either way, those are my thoughts on Bone Parish. I really did like it a lot again. I'm really excited for the next issue, and this is no way is a negative review towards the book, just some critiques on it. So definitely go out and pick this up or read it or whatever if you haven't yet. It's really, really good. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks. See you tomorrow.